what's going on. What's happening?
Welcome to Charles is gonna burp at you for 2 hours.
No, fuck up.
It's alright.
They're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we'll pat it out loud with them.
And now I'm not gonna stop the recording every time you need a burp.
Oh,
Well, now you're just doing it on purpose.
Yeah,
and
don't
being
do
gross.
it at the mic. Do it in another direction.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck is wrong. I can't stop fucking burping.
You breathe too much.
so shallots is a type of onion.
By the way, Zane's here.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi.
Zane is
yeah.
also here.
Hi.
It's his first time being in a podcast.
It's great to have myself be here with you guys.
Yep.
If that works in that phrasing. No. Oh yeah, I'm just here to temporarily cover Carlos because I'm not as good as him. But
You can't compliment people and then shit on yourself.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You're gonna stop that right now.
I can't.
I'm not gonna have you fucking...
My life is a joke, Sam.
I'm
That's
not
how
gonna
I
have
use
you
it.
do
No.
this during our recording.
No.
Fine.
You can only speak positively about yourself during our recording.
Yeah, motherfucker.
We'll talk shit about you.
No.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk shit about you.
Well, in the positive note, I almost got a date. Is that positive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you want to talk about personal things?
No, not really. But
Good, because we don't want to talk about personal things either.
Well, we don't usually talk about
Yeah, we don't
personal
usually-
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are personal things. I've noticed a rhythm in your guys' podcasts.
How? Oh, yeah, you listen.
How do you know such things? I just, I can feel your auras from right here. But no, yeah, I do watch your guys' podcasts.
Zane's a bit of a strange one.
I am a strange one. I would say I'm very zany.
I hate you.
Come on.
This is a mistake.
You have to give me that one.
Charles is a 4chan?
He attempted to show me pornography.
Oh, no.
But Sanic was in the way.
Oh, that new movie. Who's ready for that new movie to come
No
out?
one.
I don't know why everyone hates the new design. People still hate it.
Yeah.
But I knew it was gonna look like that when the fucking silhouette came up. So I'm like, why are people still giving it shit? Like it's been given the shit already.
Yeah, if you knew it was already
It doesn't need to be like that anymore.
When I first saw it, I was like, okay, well that, like, my first reaction was like, alright, this is just kind of bland. But then another thought was like, but we haven't seen Eggman yet.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
I'd
It's
rather
like
not.
no, it's the Twitter egg. Just like
Just as a person.
Super high res though.
But it has like this huge mustache and the fucking weird glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. What they named that one from Sonic Mania? It looked like Eggman, but they like
Egglet?
Egglet, like it was supposed to be his
daughter or
daughter.
some shit.
No. That wasn't an actual
I know
thing.
it wasn't an actual thing, but I just thought it was.
There's a fan name for it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was adorable that people made something out of that, and I was like, that. You know what? I could see Eggman having a daughter, but
With who?
that's the thing. He just has one.
I mean, he created a hedgehog, so
Yeah,
he could
so he
probably
can
create a human.
He's like, listen, I can only be so long for this world. You're
I
not
need a
taking
successor.
over. I need, dude, the next Sonic movie. That's
Oh.
it. What?
Her name's Omelet, and she's Eggman's niece.
Oh,
That's adorable.
See, dude, that's so
Alright,
cute.
Sega, you win this
That
round.
wasn't
You win
Sega.
this
That was Sega?
It was
a-
Sonic Mania, which
yeah,
is a fan-made
fan-
game that
Alright,
Sonic
Sonic
Sega
Mania.
produced.
And also, that wasn't the actual intent. That was just a sprite that people interpreted as
Yeah.
being a female.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just adorable, honestly. Adorable. So, yeah, my birthday's tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Is it weird that it's just like a mundane thing now? It's like, oh, my birthday's
Yeah,
tomorrow.
you're
Same.
like almost 20, dude. It's just what happens.
Yeah, also, by the way, I'm the youngest one here, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the
Right,
babby.
You're what, 22, 23?
22.
Yeah.
I'm 23.
I'm 20, dude. Damn.
I'm 23 because I'm a fucking American.
I'm 20.
What?
I'm going to be 24 next month.
Oh, dang.
No one here is going to be 40?
No.
Hey, Brett,
40.
Brett, it's okay. It's all right. I may be 19,
I'm a
but
40-year-old
this is...
magician.
I think it's my favorite thing from that series, just because of how...
It's one of my only favorite things from
Yeah.
that series.
Don't worry, Brett. 'Cause
Talking
I may be
about-
19.
We're talking about Big Mouth, and like,
Oh, God.
I would
no.
listen to it as fucking background noise when I was working on other things, But then I actually sat down and watched what I was listening to, and it's really fucking ugly.
What is?
Big Mouth.
Oh yeah.
It's horrifying.
Yeah, the animation, the art style is really
I
ugly.
even remember seeing a fucking Twitter post where it was like, Japan, let's make this character cuter. America, let's make this character a fucking nightmarish Lovecraftian horror.
Oh my god, dude.
And the picture was fucking Nick from Big Mouth.
I don't know why. It's not something you should be like, oh hey, have you seen Big Mouth? But it's like, oh yeah, I've seen Big Mouth. It's one of those shows where it's just like,
I've taken that trial.
yeah.
I regretted it every day.
God is still punishing me.
Oh man.
It fits into the category of funny comedian doesn't respect animation enough.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Because, like, what are the...
Like fucking Brickleberry with Daniel Tosh's cartoon.
Yeah.
Fuck that show.
Honestly though, like
Well,
it wasn't as bad as Big Mouth.
I know, but
And the whole point of the show was to be like.
Also, it's just Daniel Tosh.
Yeah.
Big Mouth has... Every character is voice acted by another comedian, so it's a mix mash of comedians' different
Styles.
Yeah. Like, Jordan Peele's in it, John
Right.
Mulaney's in it, Nick Kroll is in it, and then that one girl from Parks and Recreation is in it, and then some other comedian. Amy Schumer is in it for like 5 minutes
wow.
as a character that never gets referenced again.
Damn.
I say character, but it's a part of another character. Anyways, but that's someone writing jokes for Amy Schumer.
Wait, what?
Because they have a team of writers on the show, and they just use the comedians to do... Like, some of the comedians are writers. Like, I think Jordan Peele is a writer for the show.
I'm sure John Mulaney's on
Yeah,
the writing team.
but Amy
hilarious.
Schumer is definitely not a writer for Big Mouth, and so a writer gave her jokes to say as the character.
She's not even a writer for her own comedy.
No.
That's what I was alluding to without outright saying it.
Oh no, yeah, she doesn't write her own bits, and she's also a terrible, terrible person.
Yeah.
Who was there were two other big comedians that got, like, shit for ripping off other... I think Dane Cook was one of them, because there was an episode of Louis about it.
He was taking things from Louis C.K. And there was also
But-
Carlos Mencia.
That's
At
the
least as opposed to Amy Schumer.
He has good delivery.
Not only that, but he's not a garbage person.
He's a dude, bro.
He's a dude, bro, but that doesn't make you a
What was that
garbage
thing I
person.
said about Dane Cook that you were like, oh my god, it makes sense now? It's like, yeah, like high school dude bros, no, college dude bros listen to Dane Cook, and then their like little brothers in middle school think it's funny because their older brother does. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I was in middle school when my brother was in college. And I was like,
To be fair,
Yeah.
I still think not Daniel Tosh, fuck,
Dane
Dane
Cook.
Cook
He has some
like,
good bits.
His like his mid-career shit is really good. I think he overplays the Sufi thing, the super finger. I think
oh
it's
yeah, I
kinda
remember that.
Yeah.
There was one time in his stand-up where it was like a stylized symbol of him doing that was on the stage.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I think that's his biggest special.
It's his logo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember when I was in middle school, like, I would watch animated bits of his stand-up, but it was just people reenacting things in
Or-
Halo 3.
or like the AMVs of anime
Oh
where
my
they try
God.
to lip sync it.
Yep.
And it's like an anime you like, so you know those scenes don't go together. Like it's Naruto or Dragon Ball Z or some shit.
Just 7th grade was just a blur for me.
I don't
Middle
know.
school.
You're a fucking liar.
No,
It's
total
it's
blur.
personal shit though.
Yeah,
That's why I
no.
say it's just a blur.
No,
For the-
7th grade, a lot of stuff happened for you.
For
Yeah.
the record, I can't get into like super political comedians.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like if you relied too heavily on political things to be funny, then
and
it just
if you're gonna
detracts.
Make a political joke, make it funny, because otherwise you're gonna be alienating at least half your fucking audience.
Yeah.
So I will say that
That one's like-
I don't know much. I don't know
Is that like-
politics. I don't know celebrities. But the
Oh.
one thing I do know is how to be funny. And that's my only talent. But it's a
But
good talent.
no, because
I'm just kidding.
no, that's not what I was gonna say. Your comedy relies too much on making yourself
self-deprecation.
feel bad.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is true.
And that's no way to get laid in a comedy club.
But hey, like I say,
That's not the problem with that.
I like my women how I like my coffee, guys.
Don't say it. Because if you do, it's not an original joke.
Black and without a penis.
Without the penis, Charles. Without
Anyways,
the penis. Dude, I don't know. Something about anti-jokes and just, like, terrible stuff like that.
My comedy comes from self-defense.
So,
Someone will say something to me, and then I'll have to... I don't want to be a bitch about it, so I have to answer back with something that makes them feel bad.
oh, God, dude.
The anti-humor thing just reminded me of one of my favorite anti-jokes. What's green and has wheels?
What?
Grass. I lied about the wheels.
Yes. I love that one.
Oh my god. Dude, I forgot to pick up my book. I was going to do it today. My red book of pickup lines.
I'm glad you
It's
done
good
that.
you did.
Yeah. Because
we'd just be doing that all day and it would be fucking stupid.
You want to know my favorite anti-joke?
What's that?
It's a math problem. Get ready for it.
Oh boy.
John has 45 candy bars.
Okay.
John eats
Hold on, I gotta write
35.
this down.
He eats 35 of these candy bars. How many candy bars does John have left?
doesn't matter, he has diabetes.
There you go.
Yeah!
Because the way I say it is like, how many candy bars does he have? John has diabetes. Like I slam into the John has diabetes.
Oh god.
Because I want them to be thinking about the math, and then I just fucking hit them with cruel reality that John shouldn't have eaten 35 of those 45 candy bars.
It's either anti-jokes or riddles or just knock-knock jokes.
I think the only time I can take political comedy is if it's somebody pretending to be on the other side. But then I
But then I watched John Colbert, not John Colbert, fucking, I watched the
Stephen Colbert.
What's it, John?
Because they used to play back-to-back.
Oh.
That's right.
Daily Show and then...
And Jon Stewart.
Yeah, fucking, then I watched Stephen Colbert and it's like, that's like all he does.
Well, that's the character.
Yeah.
I know, but like...
He doesn't
like,
do it anymore.
One of my least favorite things, and a fucking... Should I name these two people that I'm thinking of off the top of my head?
Do we know them?
You might know one of them.
Are they celebrities?
Do we go to school with them?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Lanny Pator from Team 4 Star.
Dude, I don't even know who the fuck that is.
He's one of the writers and voice actors on
Okay,
Yeah.
what about him?
And a guy from another YouTube channel. Y'all I don't think
Just say
I've
his
mentioned
name.
it.
Say his name for the audience.
Yeah, Matt from Super Gaming Brothers. They always go like, haha, it's orange and has blonde hair, just like our president. Haha, it's funny.
Yeah, but they do it in the way that, like, it's like, I mean, it's a little joke, I'm fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, it's the funniest thing ever.
Well, are they laughing ironically? Like, are they fake laughing? Or
They're
really
making
it's-
fun
Oh.
of how comedians will just have orange and then the blonde haired wig and they'll be like, I'm Donald Trump. But it's...
No, like, they'll see a character that has, like, orange skin and be like, hey, it's our president. Ha ha ha.
I know, but they're pointing out how
No,
everyone
I think
does
what he's
that.
saying is they're
They're
on that
serious.
line
They're
doing-
serious.
That's lame.
Because every time you told me that, it sounds like they're making fun of it too.
No, they do it seriously.
Like I don't defend Trump. I actually don't even like him at all. It's just from a comedic standpoint.
It's low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Pointing out that he's orange and has blonde hair, like has a spray on tan and a fake ass blonde wig. That's old.
Yeah.
It's not funny anymore.
Go back to his tiny hands.
The first
Yeah, go back to the tiny hands.
the first person who did it, okay, yeah, haha, chuckle. But like,
He's a big old delicious
Going back to
Cheeto Puff.
Jon Stewart, actually, he showed up on Stephen Colbert's new show, and he did such a shitty fucking impersonation of Donald Trump. He had like orange markings on his cheek. His whole face wasn't orange, and then he clearly had a shitty wig that didn't fit on his head. And then he didn't have like a suit. He just had a shirt, like the shirt I'm wearing, and jeans. And then he did a Donald Trump impersonation, and I'm like, it can't be that easy and still be funny.
Guys, do you remember that hit Comedy Central show, The President Show, with Alec Baldwin as Donald Trump?
That you
No.
mean SNL?
No.
It was a real fucking. It was a Comedy Central show. Did it even air?
Yes.
Really?
It had multiple seasons.
What the fuck, Comedy Central? Like, that's just retarded. I know you don't like me saying that word, but it's okay. All right, don't hit me. Stupid. Fucking dick.
At least I think it had multiple seasons, because I remember it running for more than a year.
Don't say it, and I won't hit you.
For the audience,
But yeah, like-
Sam just hit Charles.
All of the...
Yeah, they're not stupid. They can put two and two together.
I-
They're not retarded. I deserve that one. Stop it.
Anyway,
God dang.
when I would
Stop it, Sam, that hurts.
when I would babysit my niece, as like throughout the day, there's nothing on fucking TV, but Comedy Central would run would marathon that '70s show, so I would watch that. But then like I would see
The promotion.
the promos for the President show, and it always felt like the same bit. Like
It was just the same joke over and over again.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, Alec
And I can't
Baldwin's...
imagine their political I'm sorry. I can't imagine the political commentary is going to be, like, enlightening.
Alec Baldwin's funny enough on his own because he's the only person who hasn't been, like, he hasn't been a cast member of SNL, but he has his best of Alec Baldwin's, like, collection. He's just a common host for SNL.
Mm.
So he's funny enough on his own. So it's kind of stupid that he's just degraded himself to, I'm in orange and I have blonde wig. I'm Donald Trump.
like if you really want to do some comedy stuff with that, put him in weird situations.
I like that one meme that,
That was
he
actually,
sent
you
the
know
other day.
what was it was a decently funny show that had a couple of good fucking bits. It was basically the same show, but it was an animated show and it was about Bush.
Yeah, Little Bush.
Yeah, Little Bush. That was like, I was a Bush supporter. Well, I mean, as much as a fucking 8-year-old can be a Bush supporter, I was a Bush supporter because my parents were Bush supporters, and like I still, anyways. Even I found that one to be kind of funny sometimes.
Just get this person and put him in
you see the
absurd
meme.
situations.
I like when people just meme like a weird image of like a weird picture of Donald Trump because he's like walking to. This is clearly an airport, and he's walking to a plane, and he's like
weirdly excited.
doing like weird fist bumps to himself, and
He's like dancing.
he has like that weird smile where your teeth are on your lip.
Yeah,
And like
He's
like,
excited.
and then like what's his wife's name?
Melania.
Melania and some guy are like right next to him, just like calm, and then like over Donald Trump, it says me ordering tequila shots for the table, and then over
Everyone else.
yeah, everyone else, it says everyone else at my nephew's first birthday. Like
We're fucked up.
that's funny as shit. And I even follow a blog on Tumblr where it's just like Trump parts. And what the guy does, he does what he does with that Broly picture, where like you have Broly's head, but you just shrunk his face, but they like enlarge parts of Trump, and they shrunk it. He doesn't just stick to the tiny hands. He like will like enlarge his mouth, take up like he'll like remove the nose and then move his mouth super wide.
One of my favorite pictures is Trump's on the White House front lawn, and I think like, he's screaming at something. I don't remember what. It's an absurd image, and it's funny. I forget what he's screaming at, but he's just like screaming at something. And that's an absurd image, and I love it.
I like those vines because political commentary wise, the vines were touching on how Donald Trump will just like try to pander to shit that people don't think he cares about. And it's like it's whenever somebody takes like that shot of him going like, look at my African American friend over there, and then they'll like cut to like just a random like black person doing something, and I like the one with the guy just fucking dancing like wildly, and it's like, look at him go, and I don't even know the actual context for that, but I'm like, yeah.
One of my other favorite Vine, it's another Vine. It's the fucking when he's doing something and these bright ass lights come on and he's like, turn those lights off.
I like when it goes with fucking
yeah.
small things.
Yes.
Blink-182.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a good fucking
I like that
video.
too. I like that neck.
Yeah. I'm getting these guys into Warhammer 40,000 and it's awesome.
That was his computer squeaking as he turned it.
Yeah, it's got these
I
weird
can
little
squeak as
pads.
well.
Don't!
No.
Don't do it, please.
No.
It's one thing for my computer to do it.
Let's talk about Vines now.
It's my lungs collapsing.
I know we did that in like episode 1, but I'm on Vines now.
On Vines.
But yeah.
I saw a video where it's just like everyone's in Smash and they just took random parts of Vines and then like did the like Reggie introduces himself into battle. But like one of my
And then Reggie
favorite.
Watts?
No, Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Big
Oh.
command.
Oh, shit.
And then I saw like it was that screaming gopher thing, and it was just pausing. It's like, ah! And it like did the breakup thing. It's like screaming gopher. Ah!
Fucking. Speaking of screaming.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I showed them this amazing Twitter account that I found called Perfectly Cut Screams.
I can't even fucking do. You gotta do it. I can't say it.
So there's one that like it goes with Alien Ant Farm's version of Smooth Criminal. It's just you've been struck by a truck.
And then like they throw a truck at you in the video.
Oh shit!
Go and follow that Twitter account. It's amazing.
Oh man, that's a great fucking.
Wait, I could probably play that video without getting in trouble.
Probably.
Yeah, it's because it's only like 3 seconds long.
Not even. It's not even 10 seconds.
As long as you find it.
I said 3.
Yeah, you said 3 seconds.
Oh, you said 3. Oh yeah, it is 3.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I was guessing.
3 seconds, dude. That's amazing.
Here.
Not very long.
You've been struck by truck.
Oh,
That's
God,
so,
dude.
no, it's not stupid. It's great.
I know, but it's a great
Damn,
text.
It's great.
Yeah, like there's some things on there that normally wouldn't be funny, but because of how it cuts off the scream, it makes it one of the funniest things ever.
Oh, God, dude. I've been having a hard time getting back into games, honestly.
That was
Like,
a
what do you
weird
mean?
transition, but okay.
If you want to put it, a weird transition, I can make it weirder, but I don't know how to make a smooth one. But I was just kind of figuring out.
It's an ad, but like it says other
Oh,
things.
it's
So it's just
big.
Oh, God.
For those of you who care, I'm on Pinterest because I guess I'm Carlos for the day, looking up weird
Memes,
shit on the internet.
Yeah.
Not even memes, just I'm looking up shit on the internet.
I was kind of just thinking about the Smash tournament and like games and stuff and all that. And like recently, you ever had the problem when you play a game and you just put it off to the side for like a long time?
All the time,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, and then it keeps piling more, and then new games come out and you never get to it.
Uh-huh.
Do you ever think that like stack of games that you haven't touched will ever be like fully played?
Dude, I still have Assassin's Creed Odyssey like wrapped up. I have not opened it yet.
Oh my God, dude. But
Because I'm playing a long ass game.
No, it's 'cause you looked at your phone.
yeah, no, that's fine.
But yeah, no, I think like as long as there are good games coming out. Well, no, that's even a false statement because there are good games that have come out that I even haven't played yet. Yeah,
I
no.
was actually just about to go on a hiatus after I played fucking Resident Evil 2, but then Ace Combat 7 came out, and I fucking love that game. It's like, it fucking broke me out of my funk as far as games were concerned.
And then last night happened. That was a weird statement.
Oh, well, guys.
Okay,
we
okay,
might just-
hold
that's
on.
right.
Let's light some
We-
candles here.
At the school we attend, there was a Smash Ultimate tournament, and
And Brett, toe that ad up.
You got
Charles, Sam, and I participated, and I got 3rd place.
And I was at
well,
work.
Carlos also participated.
Oh yeah, Carlos also participated. My bad.
Yeah,
I
but
still think you got robbed, but whatever.
he didn't get robbed.
I know.
He made a mistake.
Yeah, I made mistakes. And I was tired.
No one was playing Rob.
Actually, I think Carlos played robbed.
Carlos,
He
yeah.
played. Yeah, he played.
No, he played fucking.
He played it in like
Pikachu.
the.
Was it?
We were allowed to play before the tournament started. For
Yeah,
practice,
I
and
heard
he
Game
played
and
a little
Watch
bit.
going on, and he was also playing as Pits, either Dark Pit or regular Pit.
He was playing as Dark. He was playing
Um,
as P2.
but yeah, Charles usually doesn't play, and we convinced him to just go and have a good time. And then
I
he
got
was
free food out of it. So
yeah, and then he saw me
You did.
playing, and he got really into it.
we got pizza.
I know you did.
Because like recently I'm just like trying to play more games, and then I have this whole stack, so I'm like, I wonder when I'm gonna get around to that. And it's always the same, like, oh, let me start it again, and then you just like lose track of
Dude,
it.
I have the same one. I bought the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 collection, Nier Automata, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then you let me borrow Final Fantasy 15, Far Cry 5, and
Doom.
Doom.
I'm still stuck on truck.
So you know what's funny about Nier Automata? I got close to finishing it, and there's multiple endings, and I've gotten every letter
Don't say shit.
except for Z.
So,
And I find that
here's the
very
thing
ironic.
that I'm experimenting with. I know everything about Final Fantasy 15 without finishing it yet, but I know nothing about Nier Automata, and I'm trying to see which one I enjoy more. If I enjoy having a game spoiled for me and I can get past that, or if I enjoy a game not knowing anything about it.
Like,
So don't spoil Nier
I'm not. I'm
Automata.
just saying it has multiple.
I know it has multiple
There you
endings
go.
because if you die at any time, you get one of the endings.
Yeah, it's
And then you get ending D for you dead.
dead. Yeah.
There's 26 endings?
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the whole alphabet. Well, because there was also just Automata before it, and it was for like PS2. Right?
Near.
Or was it
Yeah,
Near?
it's Near Girls. No, fuck. I'll look it up.
There's
There's 2 games. One's for the PS3, one's for the 360.
And I really want to play
Yeah.
that one, but I have no access.
No, but like, there's a bunch of games I still haven't played. Like, recent ones. Like, I still need to play Metal Gear Solid 4. And then I wanted to go back and go through all the Final Fantasies, the ones that I can play.
It's Near Gestalt and Near Replicant.
But I think there's just one that's called Nier, right?
They're both considered the Nier game, but it's like Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire.
Oh, okay.
One is your daddy Nier. I think that's Gestalt, and then
One's your mommy.
Replicant is you play a brother.
Oh, okay.
You play brother Nier or something. Because a girl gets sick, and you either play as her dad or you play as her brother. And fucking Nier is a spin-off of the Dragon Guard series anyways.
Jeez, man. But
And the reason why it has like fucking 26 endings is because Yoko Taro made the game, and he's a fucking insane man. He doesn't show his face.
dang. But
He's a masked man.
like and it sucks too because I have all these games I need to play, but then like there's a lot of more games coming out, right? And most of the games I want to play on the Switch, but you see I lack money. And I'm just like, man, I really want to play more games because I feel like you're at that one standstill where you're like, man, I have nothing to play, but then you forget you have all these games you've yet finished.
My issue is I can't get into a game if I know that there's story DLC. So if I can buy the game, there's no guarantee that I'll buy the DLC because I might not have the money to get it when it comes out. That's why, I do have Spider-Man for the PS4, and I haven't finished it yet, but then, when I wanted to get around to finishing it, I had all its DLCs out, and I didn't want to, see if I could buy the DLCs. And I know the DLCs don't mean anything to the story, but I'm like, I'd rather have the complete game if I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's crazy how it was back then.
That's actually...
But I'm trucking through fucking Final Fantasy 15, even though I know I don't have access to the DLCs.
That's actually a problem with some games, like... fucking Train Simulator.
Yeah. Train Simulator has $7,000 worth of DLC.
Yeah.
If you want, if you want to buy,
If you want a game with a lot of DLC.
if you want to buy Crusader Kings 2 and all the DLC, it's $300.
Yeah.
And it's it's not really a complete experience without all the DLC.
But what made people do games like that?
Okay, first of all,
Money.
don't ever criticize Paradox's publishing style because I think it's a great publishing style.
I don't know what that game is, but
Well, they're the guys that made Crusader Kings 2.
I don't know that game either.
It was, it's just...
They just meant, to have DLC like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
It was a trend in the gaming industry where some people started doing that and they noticed, hey, that's a really good idea. Why don't we do that as well? And then it became more and more obnoxious and...
So,
go ahead, John.
the only reason I defend Paradox, because like I said, they have Crusader Kings 2. If you want all the DLC, it's gonna cost I think $300 or maybe $150, but which is still a lot for a game and all the DLC. But the only reason I defend it is because first of all, if you just own the base game, you will get gameplay updates. You might not get all the story, because there's randomly generated stories sometimes for the different kings and shit that you can be, and you won't get all the random events that might happen. You won't if you don't have there's a magical DLC that you can add. You can go find the Fountain of Youth and shit. If you don't have that DLC, you won't get that. But if there was a gameplay change when that DLC came out, oh hey, we're changing you can now use gold to buy mercenaries or whatever. You'll have you use gold to buy mercenaries and shit. Well, not only that, but they continually update their games.
I don't want to cut you off, but I don't know why this appeared in my head. You can use gold to buy whores! And I was like, where did that pop into my head?
Because you're thirsty.
That's right.
In that voice.
This reminded me of John Tron. Yes, anything can be bought with the right oil, and just squeezes it out.
I feel with DLCs, it's there's such a thing as good DLC and bad DLC. I feel
I feel it's totally possible for Paradox. It would totally have been possible for Paradox to have fucked it up, but I think they're doing a lot of DLC the right way.
there's a game I can think of right off the top of my head that came out recently that has both good and bad DLC, and it's Far Cry 5.
Really?
The expansion packs, like the Mars, the Mars, Vietnam, and Zombie expansion packs are like an example of DLC done well. Maybe not in like the gameplay design department, except for the Vietnam one, but that's a different topic. I'm gonna go into in a minute. But then you have Far Cry New Dawn. In my opinion, Far Cry New Dawn should have been DLC and not a separate
I
release.
feel like it snuck up on us.
It did, because it didn't even.
There
It
was
wasn't
no
even.
promotion like until like the month
Because I
before it came
remember when the Game Awards were happening, River was who made Far Cry company?
out.
Ubisoft.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, Ubisoft's gonna make an announcement. It could be something new with the Far Cry series." And then you were like, "It's probably more DLC," and then River also agreed. And then they announced New Dawn, and everyone was confused. We were like, "Is this DLC or?" Because we were watching it as I was watching it and River was watching it, and we were like, "Is this DLC or is it a full game?" And I don't even think they answered it at Game Awards. And then later they said, "This is a new game," and we were like, "Didn't Far Cry 5 just come out?"
Yeah,
Because I remember, like, a month or two beforehand, they released the version that had all the DLCs installed already. Didn't they? No, the DLC's just finished.
Yeah, the
coming
DLC's
out.
just finished.
So I was like, did Ubisoft just have did they cut the Far Cry 5 team, like, in half?
I feel like
the
that's
DLC was
probably
being
what they
done,
did,
and then
because they probably did that because the Vietnam DLC is fucking great, but the Mars DLC and the Zombie DLC feel half-baked, especially the Mars DLC. The Mars DLC has like obvious texture seams. There are places where you can fall inside of a rock face and look out, like, because the way texturing works with shit like that is you only have textures on the front side, and on the back is see-through, and you could get inside of there. I felt like the enemy AI was really badly programmed. The weapons didn't feel satisfying to fire. The story was nonsense and just boring.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't an enjoyable experience.
And see, when we talk about DLC and games like that, have you ever? And this is a weird like sidetrack, but have you ever seen like King of the Hill?
Yeah.
Have you seen that one episode? I forgot what the Asian guy's name was.
Con.
Remember when
It's
he
an
was
anagram
running,
for Hank.
Do you remember when he was running that car wash?
Yeah.
And he cut the time more, and people had to keep putting in more quarters.
Yeah.
I feel like eventually we'll hit a peak where it just stops, and then the game.
It already happened. It's called episodic games.
Really? Yeah, because we were talking about how they wanted to make the Final Fantasy VII remake episodic.
Yeah.
And I was like you were like, that's a shitty decision. But then I went like, would it be shitty if Crisis Core was one of the episodes? And you were like, this is a kind of shitty idea.
Because I really like Crisis Core.
Yeah.
And just release
and
everything.
they would make that a whole. They would either make that 2 episodes or a whole, because they would have to cut off at the time skip.
Yeah.
But
yeah, episodic gaming has been a thing since I think Telltale was one of the innovators of it. Not like one of the first, but
there was even stuff before.
Yeah.
There was like shit that Nintendo okayed, like the Strong Bad video game. Do you know Strong Bad?
I know Strong Bad.
They had a Wii game. It was a point-and-click adventure game.
Oh.
I remember because back when I lived fucking
somewhere
west, I did the compass thing with my fingers. I even did the never eat soggy waffles in my head.
I was never eat seaweed.
It's whatever.
I've
as long as
always
you know north.
Never eat
seed
soggy
west.
wheat.
Never eat
Seed.
sour watermelons.
Yeah.
I thought you said seed. But yeah, back when I lived west, I would watch them on YouTube because I was like, I'm never gonna buy these. But yeah, that was before Telltale.
Well, I'm not sure because Telltale had games before, like they got.
Well, that was before they were doing like
Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead.
Because I think Wolf Among Us came out a while ago.
Didn't they stop that though?
Telltale went under last year.
I heard about that, but who took it? Who took The Walking Dead to finish it?
I don't know.
I think it was just people stayed behind.
Yeah.
To finish it.
Yeah, they literally just to finish it.
I don't know, and I don't really care. I never really liked Telltale's gameplay style.
Get completely shut down. The team that's working on
it's
the
a skeleton
Minecraft
crew.
Story mode. Yeah.
Oh, that became a movie.
They
on
stayed.
Netflix.
They've been defunct since October 11th, 2018.
Dang, that's crazy. You see, because when I play games like that, I'm one of those people where like I make decisions. I was like, I didn't like that one, and I start all over again. I'm like,
The decisions don't matter.
that's true, but I hate whenever you go more into it. It's all like, wait, how is this the same story? Because it'll literally take a whole entire branch off.
Telltale's oldest game is in 2005.
What is it?
Telltale Texas Hold'em.
That
It does not sound
It
episodic.
doesn't sound episodic.
I'll find out when the
They made a
one-
Jurassic Park game that was not great, actually.
Mm.
It wasn't
Actually-
as intuitive as like The Walking Dead or whatever.
I think their first episodic game was Sam and Max Save the World because it says release was October 17th, 2006 to April 26th, 2007, which sounds episodic.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I just
and then they did
remember.
another Sam and Max game.
I
And
just-
then they did Strong Bad, so fucking.
Well, there you go. It's
Yeah.
all Telltale.
Oh, Telltale.
It's
So
their
they did
fault.
innovate it. My bad. I fucked up.
Oh.
Yeah, but I just really don't like their gameplay style, and also their like visuals look really ugly to me.
Really? You don't like that kind of style?
No,
No.
it looks like it's not finalized
What do you mean?
with how sketchy and like it looks gross.
Wait, what game? Are you
Like-
still talking about New Dawn?
No, about Telltale stuff. Like
Oh.
specifically the Walking Dead.
I like their art style
I
to an
disagree.
extent.
I loved fucking The Wolf Among Us, and I really wish there had been a season 2.
I can see the appeal of their art style.
Yeah, I
It's
can
just
see the
not
appeal.
for me.
Right, it just looks unfinished
I'm
and
gonna have
gross to
disagree
me.
on that. I
But
like
on
it.
Well,
I think it's
you
good.
That's your
you
opinion.
can disagree with us because we said I like
It's
the
not
art
for them.
style. It's not for me.
Yeah.
You can
Oh, I
disagree.
know. I'm letting you know. I disagree.
Why are you arguing?
But you're disagreeing on the point that I said it's not for me because it is for you.
You
Well, no,
have-
I thought.
yeah, it's
We're still calling the art style good.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
just saying it's
That's-
not our cup
I'm
of tea.
Yeah.
I'm not to disagree.
I'm
You
not-
do
You're
like
drinking
it.
this. You're drinking this cup of tea.
You do like it. You have to.
Anyway,
yeah.
in their Back to the Future
I
one,
misheard you. I'm sorry.
in their Back to the Future one, like I didn't mind. I felt that one looked
I
better.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
I think.
It's just their engine showed its age the more and more they went.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
I know. Their Batman games got weird reviews.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Yeah.
I think it was partially because it was VR and like VR was still new.
Mm.
I don't remember those being VR games, but I also don't remember a lot about it.
Did they do the Batman VR game?
No,
No.
I think it was still Rocksteady.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
think
then
you're
never
thinking
mind.
of Arkham VR, where you're in the Batcave doing shit.
No, there was another one where you can investigate like crime scenes.
I don't think that's Telltale. Telltale had choices. That's
No, I think
because
there was-
one of them is to save Joker from something or let it happen to him.
Yeah, there's a way you can like redeem the Joker.
There's a way you can be gay with the Joker.
Nice.
Actually,
There's a way the
I think
Joker can
there
see
is.
Batman's dick.
Nice.
If I'm not-
Let Batman show his dick.
He did. And then people got
And
mad
people got
and had to
upset.
fucking edit it.
Wait, what?
There's a comic where they show like the shadowy outline of Batman's dick.
Nice.
And then people got upset. And
Why?
then
Why are you upset with that?
I don't know.
Batman deserves to show his dick off.
let Batman be proud of his dick.
I know.
It was hanging bat.
Women
Bat
can be
dick.
proud of their
Hanging
guys like
bat.
guys be proud of their dicks.
It's not like Wonder Woman just goes like, "Hey, boy,
Look at my
butt."
tits.
I know.
Come on.
But
there's a
she
book
could.
here.
Like, people wouldn't get in an uproar about that if she did.
I would.
Except maybe conservative parents.
And me.
That is true.
Why would you get upset?
Because that's not within her character.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
Not in my
Look
fan
upon
fiction.
my strong vagina. Alright, that was a bad sentence.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
That was just a poorly thought
It
out
wasn't
sentence.
not together.
Do you want to get hit again?
No,
Cut.
please no.
Scene 5. And action.
Please don't hit me again.
I'm not gonna hit
That was a new
you.
scene.
I'm not even hitting you hard. I'm
I
like
know.
tapping you.
Well, no, it's because it's like,
It's a love tap.
it's like,
It's a surprise.
yeah, it doesn't even really
It
hurt.
leaves a little bit of a sting.
Just a nice little.
I only hit you if you deserve it.
What's
Yeah, it wasn't very fast.
what's one game that you feel like isn't really out there, like a rare gem game that you don't think people?
Dude, he talked about
I
it
talked
last
about it last
podcast.
week. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh,
For
yeah.
like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about it. Sorry.
How should I?
I'm like trying to remember all the podcasts like
Okay,
together.
well,
It
we know
hasn't
what
come
Brett's
out yet,
choice is.
yeah.
What about you, Sam?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so let's-
I
it's
have to
this
think about it
gorgeous
fast.
game called El Shaddai Ascension of the
Yeah, you told me
Metatron.
about it last week, actually.
What about you, Zane? What do you
Fucking
think?
love it.
We have to think about ours. You sprung this question out of
So
nowhere.
there's this game that I recently played, and I had it for the Xbox 360, because back when I was a kid, and I know this is real bad, but back when I was younger, yes, I would steal my mom's credit card.
Dude, what the fuck? Don't admit to that on... We're live, bro.
Wait, does she know? You did that?
She knew.
Okay.
My mom was smart. She knew that for some reason there wouldn't be like $20 out of her bank account for some fucking reason.
Well, I'm sure she could see the fucking...
Yeah, the bill. She would know. I feel like if you're a parent that doesn't know why your money's disappearing, that's not...
You're not doing it right.
You're not doing... Yeah. So, actually, no, I think I bought my own money because I was working at Walmart at the time. Anyways, so back when I was younger, I would always, like, browse the Xbox store, the Microsoft store or whatever, and just, like, look for a game to buy. And usually I would see, like recommended or, like, specials or whatever. And there's this one called Resonance Fate. If you guys ever heard of it, it's a weird game.
I think I talked about the game that I think doesn't get recognized a lot before, but I'll talk about it again. I don't think I talked about it that long.
Oh,
but you keep going.
The model looks way better.
So the way that
that face is not doing it for me.
the way that game works is it's in like
Maybe it's just
a dystopian kind of time world where it has the theme of like Gears, which is my favorite theme, like steampunk almost. And I haven't, again, this is one of the games that's on my shelf. I played to a certain point and then stopped. But from what I know so far about this world is that there's this main gear, which is kind of like their god. It's a gear that runs over and over again and controls people's lives, like a limit, basically. And so the way the gameplay is, it's like an RPG, but what would you call the ones where you walk in the battlefield?
Action RPG.
Yeah, an action RPG, but at the same time it has different mechanics because you can do scratch damage, which you can say you have a full health bar, right? And when you do scratch damage, it gets covered in blue. But when you do real damage, which is red, all that blue that was covering that green gets hit down.
Oh, I just call it recoverable health.
Yeah, that.
Like that's the thing usually in fighting games. Like if you block an attack,
So what's the name of this fucking game?
Resonance Fate.
Oh.
If you want to look it up.
Is it part of the Fate series?
No, it's
No.
not. No.
No,
It's
I
not
was
a
thinking
Fate
of
game.
Tales.
No,
the
it's
Fate
not.
series usually has Fate at the beginning.
Yeah, no, I was
Yeah.
thinking of Tales.
Yeah, Tales
of Berseria.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Real good.
I don't know. I was.
And
What were you looking at?
it's weird because this game is like an overworld you travel in, but you have to get these hex energy pieces,
Yeah, he's a-
and it's kind of like a puzzle. Like you put this piece down, and now you unlock this path. And for some reason, I love the game, and it gets me every time because I'm like, I need to get so many pieces to complete this whole puzzle of this path I'm trying to create. But I've always get stuck at one part, and I feel like it's not the lack of interest or like wanting to get into the game. It's because I feel like I have too much stuff on my hands already, like like work and school and all that. And I'm just like, it feels so like it doesn't sit well with me that I haven't finished it. And it's like to me, it's kind of a rare game, and it's like really good, but I just wish I had the time to actually play it. Also with that Wii game that I told you about, The Last Story or something like that, if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's also a good one. The mechanics aren't that good, but the story is pretty compelling in a way.
One thing that I hate when I do stuff like that, like take long hiatuses from games, is like you get back in and you're like, the fuck was happening?
And you have to, and you literally have gotten so far into it, and you have to play all that shit again, and you're just like.
I actually
Wait a minute,
started.
say your thing again? I wasn't paying attention.
When you take a long hiatus from a game and like you
yeah.
get back in, and you're just like, what the fuck was I doing? What is happening?
I did that with Final Fantasy 12 once.
I actually started pushing myself not to do that anymore. Like not the hiatus, but because I used to restart the game if that happened to me, and I was because I did that with Kingdom Hearts 2, and I was like, no, I'm gonna try to remember shit. And so I just started walking around, and I realized I saved in the room I was supposed to continue down, but I left that room to go figure out what I was supposed to be doing, and I was like, oh fuck. So I turned off my console and restarted the game to get to that save file. So I just shot back, because I also did combat, so I remembered my combos. So if I've been away from the game for a long time, I just continue my story mode. Unless I'm like still at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like an hour into the game, then I'll just restart the game because I'll be like, maybe I didn't do something right. But the game I was thinking of was Ark the Lad, which is an RPG. It's a JRPG, and it's very old, and so old that I have a complete collection of the trilogy of it and it's so old that the third game is 2 discs, and they're all on PS1.
Oh.
And I still have the fucking collection for it. And I can't remember how I got this, but I also know, because you know how big the PS1 game boxes, the disc CD holders, whatever the fuck, the cases were. I have a little booklet, the same size, but it's a hardcover, and it even has like a little sash, built-in sash thing for like a bookmarker that has all the party members from all 3 games and the attacks they get, and it's like a mini booklet that comes with each game that is like, this is what a status ailment means. And the way it was a JRPG, it wasn't like walk, 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 random encounter, your party's on this side, the party's on that side, menu shit. It was one of those chessboard ones where you had a certain area of movement.
That
Arc the Lad.
Okay.
And I can't find people being like, it's one of the best JRPGs ever. I personally liked the first one. I just have to replay it and remember the story. But I remember liking the characters a good amount. And I think they have like secret party members that you have to like actively search for.
Oh.
The only thing is,
Like that?
yes, that seems more anime than it though. They were playing a lot with 3D animation at the time with their cutscenes.
Dang.
But
Apparently there was one for the PS2.
That was it?
don't bring that to my face, bro. I don't know if that's good or not. It's like
No, I know. I was looking it
Wasn't
up.
it
and
like
it's-
Final Fantasy 11? Is that the one with lightning, right?
That's
That's
13.
13. Final Fantasy 13. I remember I bought the first one for Xbox.
Yeah, keep going.
And I remember that's one of the games I haven't finished yet either. And I remember because when I got the game, it was 4 discs, and I was like, "What is this?" And I just flipped through it, and that was the first time me seeing like multiple disc games. And I was like, "This game is gonna take forever." But then I looked online, and apparently, the first disc is a lot of the topping, and then the 2 middle ones that are supposed to be the meat of the game are just like a few hours, and then the ending is where a lot of the resolve is and all that.
Yeah,
Just
Final
like,
Fantasy plays a lot with story.
Yeah, so
Because I forgot what fucking game it was. It was actually Kingdom Hearts 3, where I was talking to Carlos about it, and I said, you know, Carlos, it took you just as long to beat Spider-Man as it did to beat Kingdom Hearts 3. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, is it mainly like the story shit that made it like a long game? And he was like, I think so. And I looked up like YouTube videos, and I saw it was like Kingdom Hearts, all cutscenes, and it was like fucking 10 hours long. And I was like, that explains it. It's a Square Enix game.
oh, jeez, man.
And then, like, what, World of Final Fantasy is congruently, like, fucking
Yeah,
6 hours long with all the cutscenes?
it pretty much is. It's a great game. I like the DLC that just came out for it recently.
Isn't it, like, Maxima or something?
Maxima, yeah.
Where you can have Sora and Noctis as summons.
Mm-hmm. I found that concept where you stack each other to become more powerful very funny, though. And I was, yeah.
Because they're, like,
Yeah,
robots you can ride and shit.
Yeah, you
And then,
can
like,
ride-
your minion can be on top of you.
Yeah. You can ride a chocobo and have a chocobo ride
This just
you.
reminded me of fucking in Super Mario Odyssey, where it's the Goomba towers.
Oh,
It's just
God.
you can control over a Goomba and then just jump on top of another Goomba and continuously be taller.
I fell in love with the fan art that people did, but they made them into like anime girls, and I'm just like, it's just, I don't know, I find it adorable. But
Wait, do what?
where they turned the
Goomba Towers.
Goomba Tower into anime girls.
Oh yeah, they gave him the princess crown.
Yeah. Oh my God, when that thing swept over, dude. Jesus. It was a good time.
Anyway, Charles, what's yours?
Fucking Crimson Skies: High Road to Revenge. It needs a sequel, and if I find a fucking Kickstarter for that, I will support it, even with the meager no money I have.
I like how
With my soul.
his is just like, it needs a sequel, and then like you're getting closure because the director for El Shaddai is working on another project, and there's hope that El Shaddai could be like remastered.
Yeah.
And I'm like, mine had a trilogy.
Well, I think when I was looking up, I think I saw something about it being on the PlayStation Network, the PlayStation Store.
El Shaddai.
No, the Arc the Lad. Because I saw a little the recent.
It is a PS1 classic.
Yeah.
It's just one that people don't talk a lot about.
Fucking.
It's not even on the fucking PS1 classic.
Yeah,
Well, a lot of important games aren't on that.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the Crash trilogy and the Spyro trilogy not being on it because they were just remastered.
Yeah.
But, like...
It doesn't... I don't think it has any Final Fantasy games.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
I can look it up, actually. I don't think it does. Otherwise, that would have been the reason I bought it.
I was actually going to think of getting the SNES Classic so I can play Chrono Trigger. Because that looks like a fun game.
Chrono Trigger? Isn't it the one with...
Trunks?
Trunks, yeah.
No, Tapion.
Tapion, you're right.
That's the one with time travel, right?
Yeah.
You haven't played that?
No,
I haven't either.
It's...
You haven't... Wow, that's weird.
I've tried getting into it, but I've just stopped. I don't know why.
All I
I've
know,
never
all I
finished
know
it.
about it is shit you do at the fair
Is
at the
important.
very beginning.
Yeah.
Be on your best behavior. Your mom warns you.
Yeah.
Be on your best behavior.
Yeah.
And, like, because at first I had a friend who showed me into it. That's how I got into
I
it.
will admit,
And
in Chrono Trigger,
Go ahead.
like when you steal dude's lunch, it traps you. Like, because you're just looking around, clicking on shit, and you're like, okay, hey, you found a lunch, and then you ate it. It doesn't. It's not like, are you sure you want to eat that? It's like, no, hey, you ate it, and like, and then later on at the trial, you're like, what?
What the fuck was the PS1? Because it's not the PS1 Classic. Because I looked it up and was like, here's a list of PS1 classics. What the fuck was it called?
the PS1 Classic console?
I'll look that up.
Yeah, maybe.
Keep talking about
But yeah, no, and he got me into it. I was like, this is cool. And
Is it on the SNES Classic?
Dude, even
It
if it's
should
not,
be on-
just
it's not on
fucking
the-
emulate it on the NES.
it's not
or
on
the
the
SNES.
it's not on the
It-
NES Classic. It's
Whatever,
on
I'll
the
just, I
SNES
found,
Classic.
yeah, it is the PS1 PlayStation
It's a
Classic.
fucking, it's a really good game.
I looked up
And
PS1 Classic, that was it.
He had the actual SNES to play it on. That's how I played the original one that he had.
These
he
aren't-
even had one. Oh, go ahead, son.
No, just finish
Oh.
your thing, because this is a different
He
thing.
had the original cartridge with
Mm.
like the maps and everything. I was like, dude, that's fucking awesome. And I kind of hate it when people kind of guide you to play games. Like, have you ever had that? Or like, dude, you need to do this and that. Like, they're basically showing you how to play the game. He was all like, dude, you need to do this right now. I was like, why? He's like, because the first part's super important. I was like, you know, if I didn't go into this game without your help, I'm pretty sure I would have like done something stupid. But I feel like that's the fun about games is you get to learn doing something stupid.
You can also get it on the DS.
I lost mine.
So, like, these aren't super bad games. I don't know. It just doesn't have, like, a lot of good games. So, Battle Arena Toshiden, Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby. It does have Final Fantasy 7. Grand Theft Auto, Intelligent Cube with a Q, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid, Mr. Driller, Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, Rayman, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Revelations Persona, Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Siphon Filter, Tekken 3, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms. Those aren't a lot of bad games. There's only a couple I didn't recognize, but it does have a Final Fantasy game. It has the original Metal Gear Solid. It has Oddworld, Rayman, and Resident Evil, and the first Persona game.
The issues with it though were that it was natively running as a PAL version, which means its frame rates are cut because of the power differences between America and the UK.
Right, I remember that.
And I think it was effectively just a glorified emulator.
That's right, because they stole the
code.
stole an emulator and they couldn't fucking argue it because it was an emulator of a console that they owned.
Yeah.
I would think the emulation of, like, the emulator itself wouldn't be, like, breaking copyright. Like, because if it's their, like, if they wrote the code for the emulator, wouldn't that...
No.
You mean the emulator itself?
Like, wouldn't that be their intellectual property if they wrote the code for the emulator?
They'd have to patent it.
Yeah.
And I think patenting emulators would go against it because you're emulating a console that you don't own.
But yeah, they did just straight up steal the coding and the emulator from those people. Like, I think it's the PC XS.
I'm not defending it. I'm just saying those aren't a shitty list.
No.
of
Yeah,
games.
the games aren't bad, but the stuff that went on behind the scenes and also the price of it.
Yeah, if
is,
I had to play fucking Tekken 3 at a shitty frame rate, I probably would be pissed.
Yeah, and also Chrono Trigger isn't on the SNES Classic.
Is it? It's not.
It's not.
Which one is it on? Because I know there was 2 classics that they did.
It's not on the NES Classic.
It's not on the NES. No,
Really?
they've done NES and SNES.
Aren't they thinking about doing a 64 Classic?
Those are just rumors.
I know, but they could.
They could, yeah.
Even though
They could also
half their games have been remade.
They could also do a fucking SNES Virtual Console on the Switch, but
They could, and they don't.
even though there was coding in it, and like how they have the NES online thing.
I went to the SNES page, and it says, "You've been waiting a long time for this," but I thought it said, "You've been fooled." And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there used to be coding in that whole thing with the NES thing. There was coding for SNES games, but they took that out. I don't know why.
Zane, do you want to know the games that are on the SNES Classic?
It's on the Super NES Classic.
That's what SNES means.
Yeah, isn't it on there?
Hold on. It's Star Fox 2, Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, F-Zero, Super Metroid, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Punch-Out, Super Castlevania 4, Donkey Kong Country, Mega Man X, Kirby Superstar, Final Fantasy 3, which is probably 6. Kirby's...
I was looking at said 5.
Oh yeah, probably 5. Kirby's Dream Course.
It might be 6.
Star Fox, Yoshi's Island, Super Mario RPG, Contra 3, Secret of Mana, Earthbound, and Super Ghouls and Goblins.
Oh,
Super Ghouls and Ghosts, my bad.
It is 6, my bad. Or were you sure you weren't looking at Secret of Mana?
Probably.
It has,
Now that I think about it.
visually, Secret of Mana is kind of similar to Chrono Trigger.
I feel like I saw it on something.
People have hacked those systems to run as emulators, so you might have seen that.
Probably. Most
Because the coding is very similar. Like, I remember seeing a thing recently. It's like, hey, you can just plug your USB into a PS1 Classic and run games like that. And my brain was just like, then fucking just do that on your computer. Why buy it?
I saw a thing. I literally typed in Chrono Trigger SNES Classic, and the first thing that came up was 11 games missing from the SNES Classic Edition, and I was like, oh. You guys want me to read the list? The first one's literally, where's Chrono Trigger?
Where's Chrono?
And then it's Actraiser? Actraiser? Whatever.
Because
It's probably somebody's
they
favorite game.
re-released Secret of Mana on the PS4 store, but it's
a weird port.
Earthworm Jim and Final Fantasy 2.
They made everything 3D, basically, and I'm just like, why? Like
And
That sounds like they
Jam,
ported a mobile port.
that's exactly what I'm
Pilot
thinking.
Wings.
And see, I've seen it, and I've seen gameplay of it, and it's exactly like Secret of Mana because I've seen some playthroughs of it. But they literally just like it just doesn't look good in 3D.
See, that's a miss. They don't have Turtles in Time.
Yeah.
They totally
Rock
could
hard.
have done that.
Yeah, because it comes with 2 controllers too.
Oh god.
Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Jeez, I wonder why that wouldn't be on the SNES Classic.
Oh, speaking of lists, Brett, what episode is this? 84?
No,
Dude, I'm
we
not
have
sure
not done
anymore.
84 episodes.
We're in double digits as of this recording.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Should be.
Episode 75.
So 109.
I don't know anymore.
We're in Britain.
Huh?
We're in Britain.
Oh.
That's how they do it. They do like
Oh.
season. They do like episode 109 because it's season 1, episode 9.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's series.
Yeah, that's my bad. They call it series.
I used to watch Doctor Who a lot, and it's series.
Mm.
Not proud of that fact.
Speaking of series, what's your favorite Coke?
Coca-Cola?
Yeah, well, cause like I feel like
The white one? Okay.
yes,
the
no, classic
nice
one.
powder.
Nice powder. No, I was just thinking because I was looking at your shirt and I just thought of like Pepsi, and I was like, damn, I could really go for a Pepsi right now. But at the same,
Pepsi and get me one too.
okay, Charles. Anything else you want?
Foot rub would be nice.
Okay.
Don't touch his feet.
Don't touch his feet.
Don't touch my feet.
It's a health code violation.
I'll take off your shoes.
No, don't take off your
Like,
shoes.
they're just like, relax.
Cause I had
Don't mean it,
people are
Charles.
like, "What's your favorite Coke?" And I'm like, "Oh, Pepsi or RC Cola or Mr. Pibb," and
My favorite Coke's Cherry Coke.
Cherry Coke. Yeah, and see, I feel like I don't like things that are normally liked by other people. I feel like that's very odd.
Yeah,
like
because you're a pussy.
You're a hipster.
more like I get pussy, Anyways.
Conflict Desert Storm was a really good game.
Good job.
I'm looking at fucking a list of old Xbox games, like original Xbox games. Conflict Desert Storm was a really good game.
Xbox Classic.
Yeah.
Were you at Microsoft?
Oh my god.
Well, they have the Xbox Live Pass. The Xbox Live.
Yeah, they
the
don't need
the
to.
Xbox
You just need
Pass.
an Xbox console.
Yeah.
Like my favorite candy is like black liquor.
I think I saw an article saying that Sony had already Sony had already confirmed that they want to work on backwards compatibility for all systems before PS5. Like
That
the
would
PS5
be
can
amazing.
play anything before it.
That'd be really amazing.
Because I remember everyone was like, should I get an Xbox One or a PS4? And one of the reasons they leaned towards Xbox One is because
backwards.
PS4 had no fucking backwards
Yeah.
compatibility.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be a PS3 issue where depending on the edition of
yeah.
PS4, because my PS3 can play PS1 games, can't play PS2 games.
Mine, I tried to run 10K-HE3 on it, and so like, this game disc is not supported, even though it was like one of the, or like
I can download PS2 games on it.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
Star Wars Commando. I fucking love that game.
I know you do. You keep wanting to play it.
Yeah, you guys won't fucking let me.
It's not that we
It's-
won't.
we
you don't
can't.
keep- yeah, fuck. Bitch.
Oh, dude, Mech Warrior. Fuck, that was a good game.
Oh, there's this one mech game that I remember playing, like, once because I rented it from Blockbuster or
What
something.
console was it for?
I don't remember. I have it.
Was it Chrome Hounds?
No, it was let me see if I can find
Was
it.
it Armored Core?
No.
Steel
Talk-
Legion? Or
talk
Steel
about-
Battalion?
Yeah.
Just talk about other things while I look for it.
I'm gonna list off fucking mech games.
No,
until
let
I
him look
piss
for
you
it.
off.
I was gonna say, what would you guys specifically play games for? Do you play it to just have fun, or the
I play
story,
games for a lot of reasons.
or do you have multiple?
And it
reasons?
also depends on my mood at the time.
I like games with good story, but
Absolutely.
for me to chase that story, I need to have a game that like I can be engaged in.
Same-
A good
I'm
game
the same
requires
way.
balance between gameplay, story, and graphic.
Like
Uh,
I know people can be divided about Final Fantasy 15, but I genuinely like Noctis's play style as a character, so I enjoy doing shit as Noctis. Even if it's like a boring ass fucking side quest, I find it enjoyable. And it's I don't like if the story seems like it's going by too fast.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because in Final Fantasy, like I'm playing through Final Fantasy 15, and fucking Chapter 5 was a boss fight, and then immediately got thrown into Chapter 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't played 15.
But it was a very scripted boss fight where I could die, but like this boss was way too big for me to fight, and so it just went like wait for him to like attack you, and then you'll be able to counter and parry it. And I was like, okay. And it would be slow moving to be like, it's coming, you have to hit circle very soon. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
But I still felt like I was fighting the giant to a good extent, and I was like, this is how you would fight a giant.
Yeah. Oh man, freaking because I don't know why. Just recently, I've been trying to get back into Dark Souls. Cause I don't know. I just feel like. Oh, guys, she texted back.
Oh, hey, what'd you say?
Hey.
No.
Well, don't
Yeah.
get personal on the podcast, boy.
Oh, hey, my mom texted back. Anyways. So.
Anyway, I found the game that I was talking about. It was for the original Xbox. It's called Gunmetal.
I've heard of that game before. I can't.
It took me a long ass time to find it because I remembered very vague thing. Like I couldn't remember the name, but it's like you control a robot, and it's kind of similar. At first, I thought it was Robotech because I remember it was
Oh,
like
dude, Robotech's such a good fucking game.
anyway.
I'm sorry.
Because I could remember being able to like I remember being able to go from like being a humanoid bipedal like mech into being a plane. So it's like, oh, let me search for like games that allow you to do that from the PS2, Xbox One, original Xbox era, and I come up with Robotech Battlecry, and then I bought that game. I was like, this ain't it, but it's okay.
Wait, you bought Robotech Battlecry?
Yeah.
Like recently?
No.
Oh.
Recently, implying I have the money.
Money. Who has it?
I don't know what
I
you got.
I think the reason
I talked about not being able to afford food yesterday.
No, so did I.
Reel it back.
That's why I'm a
Really?
plant
Really?
and I do photosynthesis. I create my own sugars. That's how I live.
Speaking of which, donate to us on Patreon.
We do,
So-
not,
buy
we
food.
do not have a Patreon.
I know.
Yeah. That's why I gave Sam $10 on his Patreon. So I now I will.
Fucking liar.
Don't worry, I'll get around to that.
Yeah.
Fucking.
But cause I don't know, I guess cause Dark Souls like really stuck with me because I went to it and then I didn't do it and then I went back to it and I didn't do it again and I finally finished it. But I guess I just like the tedious task of, okay, here's where you had to go. Get from point A to point B. But you mess up a little bit on the way. It's like, okay, I learned where I messed up and I know how to do better from that point.
That is.
I like how even though we know you love the series, you even just called it tedious.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I
usually
do.
that's a major detractor for a game.
And I don't know, I think it's just me, but like that's just something I like. I'm just like I fawned over.
Boy.
Yeah, I'm supposed to.
It's just something I fawned over because I'm like, okay, I know what I did was all my fault, so I know how to correct it by doing it better. I mean, I'm sure there's some points where it's like, okay, no, that was totally just completely unfair. But there's some points where I know where I have to go, and if I mess up along the way, I know where I made the mistake and where I can correct it to get better at doing that one thing. Because I remember at the first time I played Dark Souls, parrying was a bitch. I did not understand that mechanic at all.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
It's fucking hard.
it
I
is-
didn't even know parrying existed until someone talked about it.
Right, like
Because
first
the game
time.
doesn't explain anything, and
Yeah.
people say, "Oh, you just need to get good." I can't
Like,
get
no.
good if I don't know the basic controls of the game.
Not true, Brett. I got good.
And
I don't-
guess-
That sort of happened to me with Bloodborne.
Just shit
I forgot what it's called, but it's when the opponent has an opening and you exploit it and like rip out.
Backstab?
No.
No, they're in the middle of an attack
and
animation
that's
and
how
you shoot them.
show true
Yeah,
strength,
you shoot
right?
them and it staggers them enough for you to land like a good amount of power.
What were you huffing at, Brett?
Because
I hate you.
Sam told about exploiting a weakness, and I was like, "That's how you show true strength, bro."
Oh, because of Jiren.
I hate you.
I'm sorry.
You reminded me of it.
I'm sorry.
I was doing all right. I forgot about Dragon Ball Super, and then you reminded me of it.
Good job.
I'm sorry.
As I've gotten up to date with the Dragon Ball Super manga, and that was a ride and a half.
It was an ordeal.
The worst part was the Goku Black arc, hands down.
Oh, what am I doing? But
The Universe Survival arc was all right. I think I like Toppo more as a character than Jiren, because I don't know. It just feels like Toppo is just better written.
and I mean, cause I don't know. It's just when you play a game, you play for different reasons, depending on what mood you're in or whatever, right? Usually, is that how most people work for it? But I mean, yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, there are some people who will just play the newest game because it's popular.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is true.
Those people are weird.
Too rich for their own good.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just something about Dark Souls that I'm just like, I like to go back and be punished and just correct my wrongs, but
Actually, I have a friend who does that, who will buy like the most recent game just to play it, and he actually has a reason for it. And he's recently gotten back into playing games, and he's like, there's so many games that I've missed that like I feel that if I don't buy each game that comes out, I'm gonna miss a hidden gem or some shit.
yeah.
And then like feel bad that I missed out on it. And I'm like, okay, but do you keep every new game you buy? He's like, no, if it sucks dick, I return it. And I'm like, alright, that's fair, I guess.
Yeah. Do you guys have like a main series games that you play? Like one that you could say like,
If it
yeah,
comes out, I buy that game. I buy like what you're saying is if it's a game for that franchise and it comes
yes,
out,
like I will,
try and
yeah,
buy
yeah,
it.
like that, like you can like associate yourself with that series.
Will you
of
count the
games.
Dragon Ball franchise as that? Because I like Dragon Ball games I usually buy.
Yeah. No.
Like,
that-
even though I was talking about this the other day because I was going through my liked videos on YouTube, and I remember one of them was one of the first trailers for Xenoverse 1, and I remember back when I thought that game looked good, and then I bought the game, and then I didn't learn and bought Xenoverse 2.
Really?
I even pre-ordered like the special edition of that game, and like it's just more of the same.
Yeah, because I feel like if you get into a series and you stick with it, you kind of just have to stick the whole ride out. Like, well, because if you feel like, man, I love this series, I play it, I know everything about it, story, characters, whatever. I feel like you also have to stick out for kind of the bad games too.
No,
Really?
I don't feel that way.
I do that.
Yeah, I'm like, well,
I used to buy every Assassin's Creed game and like Kingdom Hearts game that came out.
yeah, and I was all like,
If I think it looks bad, I won't touch it. Like
I got into a habit though where I would only play specific games, and I got tired of it. So now I'm introducing myself to other franchises that people like. That's why I'm on this Final Fantasy kick.
yeah.
I need to start doing that with music because I keep listening to the same shit.
And that's why fucking episode 3 of our fucking podcast is nothing but Persona.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I like that episode. Pretty good episode. But because I remember my first series was the BioShock series, and then it
Like,
was
ever?
this. Huh?
First series you ever played, or the first series you got enamored with?
I got enamored with was the BioShock. Well, if we're going for first ones, it was the Borderlands series because I remember my uncle had gave me Borderlands, and then for some reason I don't know, like this is like again I have like some weird kind of thing that happens with me every time I pick up a game that I was like, oh man, this game was good, and I finish it and I was like, that'd be cool if it has a second series. I'm always just at the perfect time when the second series is coming out. Does that ever happen to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I can think of one series that I have like stuck with through ups and downs. It's Pokemon.
Pokemon.
That is true.
Because even though
I can't say that.
even though like I have it owned at one point, or I have gotten a copy of every generation of Pokemon. Even with as bad as I think Sun and Moon is, there's still some fun things of that generation. Like I love some of the designs of the Pokemon. The Alolan forms are fun, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had,
good points.
I remember
I'm
my
super
first
excited for fucking
Sword and Shield. Yeah. That's wanting me to buy a Switch. Well, you know, my mom did say that she would buy me something for my birthday, but I don't think a Switch is something I need.
it's only $300.
Think about it like this, because that's my issue with my birthday too. Your birthday's not about shit you need. Birthday's about things that you want.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't think you need a Switch, but you want a Switch, and it's your birthday, you can ask for a Switch.
Okay.
And if they're willing to spend enough money for a Switch.
Yeah, that is true. Because I remember, I don't know if I told you guys, but like, my mom helps with the bills. I'm not trying to get personal here, but I remember one day she had sent me some money, and she's all like, this money you're not going to pay your bills with. I was like, what do you mean? You're going to buy something you want with it. And I was like,
Buy yourself something nice.
Yeah, I think it was for Christmas. It was for Christmas. She's all like, you have $200 to spend, buy something. You can't use it for your bills. I was like, but I need to pay bills. She's like, no. She literally like, no, you're not using that money for that. And so I forgot what I bought with it, but I remember I had bought something with it. I'm not good at remembering stuff.
You bought something fancy.
I bought
I wish
something.
my mom would do that.
Hey, bud,
Hey, bud, we're here for you.
stop it.
But
That was a
oh yeah,
hit.
Pokemon. So I had started with the Heart Gold and Soul Silver series when they bought those little like Pokemon
Pokewalkers.
Pokewalkers. I love that thing.
Wait,
to
those
death.
are your first Pokemon games?
That was my first Pokemon
Oh yeah,
game.
you're 19.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
But that is still
I'm
weird to
close.
think, because those games came out in like mid 2000s.
Yeah. And
Dude, Pokemon started when I was born.
I know.
Yeah, same.
Pokemon's as old as I am.
But like, because did you ever have a Game Boy Advance?
no. Oh, yes, I
You,
did. but
you
that was
missed
when I
out on
was
the
younger.
Game Boy Advance? You
I had-
poor child.
I did, but I remember I lost
How
it.
old were you?
when-
Fuck, when did the Game Boy Advance come out?
Early 2000s, like 2002,
I
2003.
was playing games around 4 or 6.
I was born in 2000.
1999.
No, yeah, because his birthday is
Are you
tomorrow.
trying-
He's turning
Oh,
20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I remember I have like a sad story with the Pokemon series because I had gotten those two and I fell in love with it. And then I was watching the anime, cartoon, whatever, and I saw anime, and so I
Children's anime, but it's anime.
I had watched.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just got reminded of Manime.
Oh, dude, yes.
Fist of the North Star.
Oh, God. And I remember my favorite
Manly tears.
Pokemon, and always to this day, is Gibble, because he's just my favorite. And so I was like, what game is he in? And it was in Platinum. So I bought Platinum from GameStop back when it was good. And so I remember buying the copy, playing it to a certain point, and then I lost the Platinum game. I was like, crap. Well, it was only like $19 at the time. So I bought a second
Bullshit.
one.
It's $40 now.
Yeah, what the fuck? How?
Yeah.
Usually
$20
Nintendo
Fucking
games.
GameStop.
Usually Nintendo games retain value,
Really? That one was like $20.
Maybe
I
they
guess
had
because it was
extra
used.
copies.
even
No,
if it's
a used
used.
a used copy of Pokemon, like, it pisses me off. A used copy of Pokemon Platinum at GameStop right now is like $40.
Yeah.
What happened to GameStop?
No. It's called the Nintendo factor. Usually Nintendo games retain their like close to market value, if not market value for a long ass time, because it isn't a Nintendo game.
Because I remember it was like 20. I don't know how I bought it for 20, but I remember I bought another copy of it.
Maybe the store just took pity on him.
No, because when I bought Black 2, it was also $20.
And so when I bought it, I played it again too, and I got my Gibble, my whole team, and almost finished it, but I lost it again. And I bought a third copy.
Swear to God, if you bought it for $20, I'm gonna kick.
I think I spent total $60 on all three of these games. And I had moved to a new house back in my hometown, and I lost my third copy of it.
Zane, stop.
I can't
You're
play.
just not meant to own Pokemon Platinum.
I'm not, and that makes me sad.
You
Because
just emulate it.
I was gonna say, you want to know one way you'll never lose it? Emulation.
Emulation.
Unless you fucking break your computer.
And you can't say, because, okay, so I have a policy with emulation. If it's older than 10 years, or if I've purchased it
Yeah.
at any point, I'll emulate it. You've purchased the game 3 times. You fall under my rule.
Yeah.
Like, you can emulate Pokemon Platinum
God.
fairly.
And dude,
Because, like, I've done that where I've had games and I've lost them, or they've gotten fucked up or whatever, because they didn't take good care of my games. So I emulate them, because, like, I'm never going to find that disc, and I don't think I can find a new copy, or I can't afford it.
Yeah.
So I'll emulate it.
Yeah. And so I was like, man, I really would have loved to finish that game. And so I got Black and White, and because when Black and White 2 came out, I heard mixed reviews, and I was like, I don't want to buy it now. Oh, nice.
Dude, my first ever.
So sorry for that pause. Oh, but go ahead, Charles. You can, yeah, go ahead.
My first ever Pokemon game. My first ever game, period. Pokemon Gold.
My first Pokemon game was Red, but I didn't beat it until Fire Red. My brother had Red, and I played it, and then I owned Fire Red.
Anyways, I had a story. I wasn't done, Brett.
Hey, Charles.
What, motherfucker? Overruled. Fucking. So when I was a little kid, like 8 years old, I had like a little TV in the room, and my parents were sick of it because like I would always watch TV when I got home instead of doing homework. And so I'm like, all right, we can't have TV. I'll take you to GameStop and we'll get you a Game Boy because I know you want a Game Boy. So they got me a Game Boy Advance, and Pokemon Gold. But it backfired because now I was just playing Pokemon instead of fucking doing my homework.
I mean,
that's my endless love affair with video games begins.
It's easier to take away a Game Boy than a TV.
Yeah, honestly. And but that all comes back to Pokemon, and now I want to get a Switch to play the Sword and Shield one that's coming out. And with the main series games, I said that I had done BioShock and Dead Space.
Dude, Dead Space is such a good game.
It's so good. I even love the third one because of the co-op. Oh, and how different events would happen.
I'm just making weird noises.
Oh.
It's not related to this.
Dead Space 2 is my favorite.
I have no opinion on the Dead Space series because I haven't touched it.
Oh, it's pretty good. Like if you want a sci-fi horror
It's good
game,
horror. It's not
real. It's
there's
not
some
like
jump
scary.
scares. There's some jump scares, but like
No, that's a lie. I have touched it. There is a iPod or iStore version, iOS version that I bought that I
Don't
played.
worry about that.
And one of my friends tried to get me into the Tales of series,
I was like, no, this is dumb. Because I was like a...
Look at those stupid anime people.
Yeah, I was a teenager at the time. I felt indifferent about everything. I was like, no, it's... What, RPG? It's all like, yeah, whatever. Because it didn't play like a normal RPG. It was like a lot different, like free roam attacks, whatever. An action RPG. And so I was like, nah, whatever. It's not even good. And then I saw one of my... I don't know what he is. He's like a second cousin. It's a weird tree. He's my cousin's removed cousin who was reinstated as a cousin. Let's just say that. And so he's all like, dude, no, you should get into the Tales of series. Like, no, it looks weird. I mean, I like anime, but I just don't like that gameplay. He's like, no, check out this one. And he showed me Tales of Berseria. And I was like, okay, you got me. Because in Tales of Berseria, you play as the bad guys. And I was like, what do you mean bad guys? And they're not really bad guys. Well, they are to some people. Because in somebody's eyes...
I'm sorry, I totally zoned out for the past 5 seconds. Repeat.
I started picking up Tales of Berseria, where you're the bad guys. Bad guys.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, because through somebody's eyes, you're always the bad guy.
Right.
In somebody's eyes. So I picked up that game and I loved it, and then I and I had started playing Tales of Zestiria and fell in love with that one, and I just got into the Tales of games.
Did you mean Vesperia?
No, Zestiria. You know why they named it Zestiria?
Because it's like zesty.
Yeah, stop, dude. I didn't. Dude.
I'd like a suit for the gentleman.
I just found that funny that literally the creator of the game was all like, because it's zesty. That's why we named it that. I was like, stop. It's like, please.
Wait, was that real?
Yeah.
That's the real
They
reason.
named it because it was zesty.
Oh, fuck you.
Fuck off.
That's what they did. Vesperia.
My shitpost was real.
Vesperia was because it was an actual thing in the game. Zestiria, the game was zesty. Berseria, the girl goes into a berserk.
I hate the series.
But they're good games. They have great story. And so I started picking up all those games again. And it comes all full circle, Brett, because now we're back to me having tons of games that I have yet played, and I'm upset. I'm upsetty, regretty, spaghetti. And I love spaghetti, because that's a good dish, and it's easy to make.
You're just talking now.
Am I really? I mean, I could talk for a while.
We can just end it now.
How long has it been?
Like an hour and 20 minutes.
Dude, please.
Wow.
I'm like out of energy.
Yeah.
No, I'm ready to go for another one. No.
We'll save your energy. We
Thank
still got other stuff to
for
record.
listening to Onioncast
Yeah.
again. Hopefully we'll be a little more high energy next week. We've been a little drained. It's nearing the end of the quarter, so like we're all kind of out of it.
Also,
I don't know what Brett is.
Brett's an amazing.
I haven't been sleeping well recently.
Yeah, neither have I, dude.
Hey, can I show the podcast or tell the podcast something?
Pause it.
No.
Pause it.
It
No,
won't.
we gotta greenlight it first.
No, it's funny.
No, okay, well, I'll determine that.
Come on.
Alright, well, before Zane can do his shitpost, it's a very strange shitpost.
I just compliment the guys. That's all I do.
But he does it in such a weird way that it always feels like there's going to be some backfire or some downfall.
Like, literally, I'll be like, Charles. Or like, no, like this. Sam, you're one amazing person, and I appreciate everything you do, and your drawing skills are amazing.
Please don't kill us.
So, did the doctor tell you that I'm dying?
And it's fantastic. Oh, anyways, that's my secret power. But yeah, then I guess with that, we should end it then. But yeah, I'll try to make more appearances. I mean, this is my first one, but I'll try to make more. It's just, work and stuff, so. Looking forward to chatting with you guys more and stuff.
Alright.
Yeah.
This has been Onioncast. Thank you for listening. See you in the next episode.
Take it easy.